Those are the last two weekly drought maps posted by the U.S. Drought Mitigation Center. A new one is coming out on Thursday, and there's little doubt that the severe drought we've been experiencing along the southern coast will still be in place. It's likely that homeowners in that area have only had to mow their lawns just a couple of times over the past month or so, if that.
Now imagine your lawn were a field of hay and you were a dairy farmer who needed that hay to feed your cows. In our ongoing series of reports on Maine's changing climate, News Center Maine's Jack Molman spent some time on a dairy farm in Dayton, which, like many other farms in York County, is feeling the full effect of the drought. He's
there now with more. And Jack, there are real concerns that this extreme weather is only going to get worse down the road.
That's right, Amanda. I spoke with two professors from two different colleges in the state of Maine who both agreed and told me that this state right here will get hotter and will actually get wetter. And now the combination of that wet weather plus the heat could result in droughts like we're seeing right now, except those droughts may continue in severity, they tell me. Now, I'm here at Harris Farm in Dayton, where I caught up with two dairy farmers to find out how they're facing adversity in the face of a changing climate.
Never know what you're going to get from year to year, so we kind of have to be prepared for anything. We have to be prepared for an excellent crop or be prepared for very little crop.
The peak of summer at the Harris Dairy Farm in Dayton, Maine.
This is my office right here, the whole barn area.
Jake Harris is in charge of his family's dairy operations and has been for the last 8 years.
That's Tavia. She's the tallest one in the herd. She towers over everybody else.
Jake works hard milking the cows at 5 in the morning and 5 at night.
Come on, Peach.
He has a lot of mouths to feed.
Animals have to get fed no matter what, regardless of what it is or where it comes from.
And get fed they do. 40 cows to be exact. But while the cows munch on hay and enjoy a break from the heat, Jake counts the days until it rains. The thing is, these cows actually are eating leftovers, hay that was cut last year. Because of the drought, Jake can't grow enough new hay, and that's impacting farmers across southern and western Maine.
And what is there is not very good quality.
This latest crop of hay is so dry and short, he can't harvest it.
Yeah, that second cutting of grass is normally much higher quality, much higher in protein, and that's an important source of protein for the herd.
In Maine, without any drought, farmers can cut their hay and let it grow back around 3 times, once in late spring, another in the summer, and the final cut at the end of summer and the start of fall. But with the recent drought conditions, Jake says he's only harvested hay once. And now in August, he's still waiting for the second hay to grow to length. Right now, it's just a few inches tall.
So not only are they having a hard time having enough water for the cows' food, but they're also starting to see declines in milk production.
That stuff's very expensive.
That's soy meal, adding protein and vitamins the cows are missing without having the second harvest of hay. With his full-time farmhand, Stephanie Tibbetts, working alongside him, Jake is trying his best to get through this abnormally dry summer. But will this kind of thing become more normal as Maine's climate continues to change? University of Maine climate professor and state climatologist Dr. Sean Burkle says it could be.
With higher temperatures, there's enhanced evaporation, which leads to greater drying. So any drought that happens to develop from variability can be, the impacts could be intensified by warmer temperatures.
Dr. Burkle says that drought and heavy rain are part of Maine's ecosystem already, but now the intensity of those weather patterns may be increasing due to climate change and warming temperatures.
There may be a increased likelihood of short-term impactful periods of either drought or heavy rainfall.
Bowdoin College climate professor Phil Camille agrees that the Northeast will get hotter and wetter, and whatever drought does come in the coming years could also increase in intensity.
Is thinking of ways of being resilient in the face of weather conditions that could deviate from whatever we normally expect in terms of temperature and rainfall, and how do you adapt to years that are much wetter than usual, years that are much drier than usual, with an understanding that either could show up at any time.
Back on the farm, Jake and Stephanie are learning to adapt to an industry that hasn't changed much in hundreds of years to a climate that is changing.
I think moving forward, we will have to change the way that we're doing things, and we already have started to.
Stephanie is a recent graduate from Vermont Tech and was in one of the last classes from that school's now shuttered dairy program. Despite a changing climate and an aging dairy industry, she's in it for the long haul.
Caring for the animals is so rewarding. Seeing them born and taking care of them as well as you can, and then 2 days later having them calve in with their own calf, and then seeing them thrive, it's rewarding.
Uncertain of what the future will bring, these farmers are determined to adapt and hope to keep making hay while the sun shines.
So if you are a farmer who is in crisis, there is a batch of funding available for you. It's through the USDA Maine chapter. Now, you can apply for that online. That deadline is August 26th. You can apply for that online, but that funding is also in addition to technical help, like if you need irrigation for your hay crop, like you just saw earlier here. But that funding will be for next year. And again, that deadline is August 26th. And you could find that link either on their website or by going on our website at newscentermaine.com and clicking on this story.
All right, Jack Molmid live in Dayton. Thank you, Jack.